How many games would the Dallas Cowboys win in 2023? What's going on, Cowboys fans? It's time, and it's America's team. I want to say what's up to that and the other fans. I'm going to be predicting the Dallas Cowboys 2023 schedule and their record as well. Give you my game by game analysis, my thoughts, see which games I think the Cowboys will win and which games I think the Cowboys will lose. So before I give you my record prediction for the Dallas Cowboys in 2023, don't forget to put a thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to my channel for more options, and don't forget to comment down in the pane below to see how good do you think Dallas is going to be. Do you think they're going to make the playoffs? Do you think they're going to win the division? Or do you think they're going to miss the playoffs again? Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Starting with the kickoff, week 1, they have to face the Giants on the road. This is a Sunday nighter. Now, this kind of reminds me of the throwback, Tony Romo versus Eli Manning. But now this is the young quarterbacks with Dak Prescott versus Daniel Jones. Now, this is a game that can go either way, though. But I think that's a game I think the Giants can steal. But I'm going to go with Dallas to win this game because I just think Dallas is just a more complete team, have a better quarterback, better coaching staff. I mean, I just kind of really feel like that the defense is going to do a good job, like that. I mean, they have owned the Giants for like several years. The Giants have proven to me they cannot beat them. So I think Dallas finds a way to steal one because Dallas is just a better team overall. And also, I just think their defense, it did improve. Your defense improved enough to at least like slow down the Cowboys, the Giants offense. Like your new secondary actually improved. So I think they can stop the pass. They can move the ball against the Giants defense. So yeah, I think it will be close, but I think Dallas finds a way to pull this one off. Then week 2, they had to play against the New York Jets. Obviously, this is another game that can go either way. Now, I know Aaron Rodgers kind of owns Dallas, but he's playing against different Dallas Cowboys team. So I'm going to say, since they're at home, I'm going to say Dallas is going to win this game here because I think Dallas is just a more complete team and have the better coaching staff. Like, I think your coaching staff is better than the Jets coaching staff. And I just kind of really feel that their defense finds a way to at least, like, maybe, like, I think they can find a way to at least, like contain Aaron Rodgers because I feel like their secondary can find a way to match up well with the Jets receivers, especially with Garrett, who feel like with their corners can find a way to cover Garrett Wilson and Allen Lazard. And I think, your O-line can have a good job, can do enough to, like, block their front. They could do enough on defense to at least, like, stop their running game, give their offensive line and Aaron Rodgers some issues. I think they can do that. So, yeah. So I think this game will be close, but I think it's going to be a little bit of a low-scoring game, but I think Dallas finds a way to pull it off. Next game, they got to play against Arizona Cardinals. Obviously, they should easily beat the Cardinals. I mean, the Cardinals are kind of one of the worst teams in the league. I mean, Arizona, they're going to be doing learning curves, new coach. We don't know what the quarterback's going to be. The playing right is going to be Kyler Murray or it's going to be we don't know if it's either going to be Kyler Murray or it's going to be Colt McCoy. We don't really know. Dallas is more stable at the quarterback position. They're the more complete team, have the better coach and staff. I mean, Arizona, their defense sucks and their offense just is bad and their defense is bad. So, yeah. So, for that reason, that's why Dallas wins this game. Next game, they got to play against the Patriots. Obviously, I think they beat the Patriots. So, at least a 4-0. Now, the reason why I think they beat the Patriots is because I just think New England's just a more complete team, have the better quarterback. And also, they're at home. If the game's in New England, I can pick the Patriots. But since this is in Dallas, I picked Dallas to win because they're at home. And I just think the defense can do enough to, like, at least, like, dictate some pace right there. Because Mac Jones is not good against pressure. So I think your defensive line can get pressure on Mac Jones. And I think the secondary can match up well with the Patriots receivers. And we know Gilmore knows the Patriots pretty well. So I think their secondary can have can find a way to at least like handle the Patriots receivers. And then I think your O-line can do a good job, like controlling the Patriots pass rush where that can put the Patriots defense in a bad position. So yeah, but I think this game is going to be a little bit closer. Now I kind of remember last 2 years ago, it was in overtime and Dallas won that game in New England, but this time it's in Dallas, and I think Dallas is going to find a way to win this game, but I think it will be a lot closer than we expected. So yeah, that's pretty much why. All right, the next game, week 5 and week 6, they have to play back-to-back West Coast team. They have to play some California teams. So they play the 49ers on Sunday Night Football, and then they play the Chargers on Monday Night Football for week 6. Obviously, I think Dallas can definitely win one of these games, but I don't really know. Because most people think that Dallas could definitely win one of these games, but I don't really know. But I'm just going to say that they drop both games right here. I'm going to say they drop both games to the Niners and Chargers. They're going to win one of them, but I think they're going to drop both games for some reason. I mean, I just kind of really feel like that, the reason why I got them losing to San Francisco is because San Francisco has a fast defense. And also, they can definitely get pressure. And they can definitely give the Cowboys offense some issues. And then their secondary is pretty solid. Maybe they can be able to handle the receivers of Dallas. And then they have a strong offensive line that can really control your pass rush. And we don't know who's playing quarterback for the Niners. Whether it's going to be Brock Purdy or it's going to be Trey Lance or Sam Darnold. I don't think it matters, though. I mean, even with the Niners with Brock Purdy in the playoffs, the Niners still won the game. I think they can do it again here. And I just kind of feel like San Francisco kind of owns Dallas a little bit. So, yeah, especially Santa Clara is a tough place to play at because it's because a lot of fans are there and all that. It's not an easy place to play at. And they're traveling towards west as well. So that's pretty much why. And then next game, week 6, I got them. The reason why I got them losing to the Chargers because they get to stay towards west, where they go across the country. Again, they have to stay in California. Because I feel like the Chargers is a tough, and I feel like LA is a tough place to play at. And sometimes Dallas is not used to environments, so I think that maybe. And also, the Chargers, it's weird to say that they have a better quarterback, and the Dallas is an overall more complete team. But this is Kellen Moore coaching against the Dallas Cowboys. And I feel like you guys know him because he developed Dak Prescott. I think Kellen Moore is going to put up a good game plan against your defense. I think Justin Herbert can, and I feel like Justin Herbert is going to make some magic. They have a strong offensive line that can really control your pass rush. And then I think their defensive line is solid. But I think, if Dallas can run the ball on them, they can have success because they know that the weakness of the Chargers is their ability to stop the run. But I think their defensive line is going to play well in this game. And I think their secondary is pretty much good enough, which I think they can cover the Cowboys receivers. So, yeah, I think this game is going to be super close and it's going to be competitive, but I think the Chargers find a way to win that game. Then they got a bye week. Then after the bye week, they have to play against another LA team at home, which they come back home to play against the LA Rams. Obviously, I got Dallas beating the Rams because, Dallas is the more complete team. They're at home. And on top of that, the Rams, every time when the Rams play against a team that has a good defensive line, they struggle against. So the weakness of the Rams is their offensive line and defensive line as well. So I think they can do a good job, and also because that's their ability that where they can't get up front, and then their offensive line has some issues where they can't pass block. So I think the Cowboys defensive line can have success, dictating the pace right there. And then I think their secondary can find a way to handle Cooper Kupp in this matchup. And also, their O-line is can do a good job blocking Aaron Donald as well. And then the Rams don't really have any corners that can really cover. So I feel like Dak Prescott can do enough to make some plays against the Rams defense. And then Cooks and CeeDee Lamb are kind of tough to cover. So I think the Rams are going to have some issues covering those guys. So, yeah. But I wouldn't be shocked if they kept this game close. But I think this game's going to – I think Dallas can find a way to pull this one off. But here's the thing. If they can definitely if Dallas can get up early, they might blow the Rams out. So yeah. The next game they have to play against the Philadelphia Eagles. I think you'll split with the Eagles this year, like you did last year. So obviously, I am going to say that so obviously I'm going to say that they lose the first game against the Eagles because the game is in Philly and Philly is just like a tough place to play at and all that. And Philly matches up well with the Cowboys pretty good. They have a good defensive line and a good offensive line. They can be able to give Dallas some issues, even on defensive line and even up front and the defensive line as well. And then their secondary is good enough where I think they can do a good job, handling business against your pass catchers and all that. So, yeah. And I feel like Jalen Hurts going to make some magic here. So that's pretty much why I think, Philly wins the first matchup. And then they played them again in week 14. So I think they split the season series and win the second game against the Eagles because, they're going to be actually motivated to play them because they beat them already. But I just kind of feel like Dallas is not going to beat them in 2 times in one season. And also, I feel like that your defense matched up well with the Eagles because I think you guys have given the Eagles issues. I think you can guys do a good job containing Hurts, and then, they can slow down the run. And I think, their secondary can find a way to handle business against the Eagles receivers. And I think you guys do a good job on the O-line controlling their pass rush. So, yeah, that's pretty much why. And especially Eagles going to have more to play for because they might be a team that could definitely make the playoffs. So, yeah, that's pretty much why I think you're going to split with them. Then next game, week 10, they have to play against the Giants. Obviously, you could definitely sweep the Giants, though, because the Giants have proved to me that they cannot beat the Cowboys once. So I'm just going to say that this year, since it's different, I am going to say that you split with the Giants. So I'm going to say you lose that game. I'm going to say you lose that game because I just think the Giants, the Giants sometimes wins games like this. Giants sometimes can win games like this. So, yeah, that's pretty much why. And I think, the Giants could have a little bit to play for because they're a team that could definitely go on a run to the playoffs this year. But I don't really know if the Giants are going to be good this year. So, I think the Giants are going to split with them for some reason because I just don't think Dallas is going to, beat them twice in one season like they did before. I don't even remember last time New York has beat them, but I think this time New York is going to beat them this time. And then next game, week 11, they have to play against the Carolina Panthers. Obviously, I got Dallas beating Carolina because, because this is a rookie quarterback playing against an elite defense like Dallas. That's not tough. I wouldn't trust a rookie against that good of a defense like Dallas. So I think you guys can do a good job confusing Bryce Young. I think they'll contain him in this game. And I think you guys and your secondary can find a way to handle business against the Panthers receiving core. And I think your defensive line can find a way to stop the run. Because I don't think Carolina's offensive line is great. So I think your D line can take care of business against that. And I think the Panthers are going to be very decent this year. I mean, their defense is a little bit talented, but it's young. So I think Dallas can have success moving the ball against them. So yeah, and also, Dallas, I just think they're just a more complete team. They have the better quarterback for right now. So yeah, I think it will be close. Carolina can definitely pull off an upset, but I think Dallas finds a way to pull it off. The next game they have to play against the Washington Commanders on Thanksgiving. Obviously, they should beat the Commanders. Obviously, I think they should beat the Commanders because the Commanders, are kind of really not a good team. We don't know who the quarterback's going to be, whether it's going to be like Sam Howell or Jacoby Brissett. If it's Sam Howell, I wouldn't trust a young quarterback on the road, especially against that good of a defense like Dallas. No way. I mean, Dallas pretty much owns them. They got the better quarterback, better coaching staff. I mean, I just think Dallas coaching staff is better than the Commanders coaching staff because I don't think the Commanders coaching staff is that good. And then, they're at home. They're just a more complete team. I mean, that's pretty much why I think Dallas wins this game. Then, next game, week 13, you got another Thursday game, which you got to play against Seattle Seahawks at home. Now, this is a game that can go either way a little bit. Now, some people might pick Seattle to win because Seattle, can match up well with Dallas pretty good, and Pete Carroll has pretty much owns them. I know that's a team where Pete Carroll truly owns, but this is a different Cowboys team that the Seahawks are facing. But if this game is Seattle, I might go with Seattle. But given that the game is at home in Dallas, I'm going to go with the Cowboys here to win this game because I just think Dallas is the more complete team, has the better quarterback. They're at home, and I just kind of really feel like that their defense is going to do enough to at least confuse Geno and get some pressure on him and get after him. And I think they're going to do a good job stopping the run because I think the Seahawks offensive line is a little bit overrated. And then, you guys, they have the answers on all. And I feel like they have the answers in the secondary to stop the pass. Like, they can find a way to at least, their corners can find a way to at least find their matches against Seahawks receivers. And then Seahawks defense is pretty good, but it's kind of young. So I think Dallas should be able to move the ball against them. Because I don't think Seattle has that much of a pass rush to at least slow down the run. So I think Dallas can move the ball on them in this game. So yeah. But I think this game's gonna be close. But I think Dallas finds a way to pull it off with a victory. With the win here. All right, the next game, week 15, they have to play against the Buffalo Bills on the road. Another East Coast team they're playing against. Now, this can a little bit go either way. Now, most people are picking Dallas to win because they can match up well. The Bills pretty good. But you know what? If this game's in Dallas, I might go with the Cowboys here. But given that the game's in Buffalo, I'm going to go with the Bills here because I just think the Bills, can match up well with Dallas pretty good. I mean, I kind of remember that time on Thanksgiving, the Bills gave in Dallas issues. And I just think their defense is going to give your offense and Dak Prescott some issues. And I just kind of really feel like that Josh Allen is going to dice you up in this game. I feel like they can do enough offensively to move the ball against your defense. They got a pretty good offensive line that can control your pass rush. And I think they'll find a way to stop your running game. And I think they have a good enough secondary that can really handle business against the Cowboys receivers. So, yeah, but these could definitely be the Diggs brothers playing against each other. Two Diggs brothers on separate teams, which that's awesome. So, yeah. And also the Bills are at home and they have the better quarterback. But in my opinion, I think both teams are both similar to each other. So, yeah. So, by the way, I think it will be close, but I think Buffalo finds a way to pull with a victory. Next game they have to play against Miami Dolphins. Now, this is another game that can go either way. Because I think in my Dolphins prediction, I had Miami winning. I don't really know. I might have Dallas win. I don't know. Because I kind of went back and forth thinking that Miami can definitely win because, Miami's definitely a tough place to play at because sometimes it be hot down there. Sometimes Dallas is not used to an environment. You know what? I don't really know about this. I'm going to go ahead and just come back to that one. I'm going to think about it and come back to it. The next game they have to play against the Lions. Now, this is on a Saturday game. I think the Lions are going to be a good team this year. But given that Dallas is at home, I am going to take the Cowboys to win this game. Because I just think you guys think Dallas is the more complete team. And I just think they have the better defense. So I feel like that your defense can do a good enough job to at least handle against Jared Goff because Jared Goff sometimes is not good against good defenses. So yeah, I think that your secondary matches up well with the Lions receiver. So I think they can find a way to handle business against the Lions pass catching group. And I think their pass rush is definitely going to give the Lions offensive line Jared Goff some fits. And I don't know if the Lions defense is as good as yours, but I don't think their defense is as good as yours. So I think Dallas is going to have success moving the ball against them in this game. So, yeah. And on top of that, Dallas at home, there's a more complete team, better quarterback, better coaching staff. So, yeah, I think this game is going to be closer like last time because last time I think Dallas beat them by almost by double digits. So, past double digits. So, yeah, I think Lions will stay competitive and stay in the game, but I think Dallas finds a way to pull off the victory. And then last game, Week 18 of the season, I think they close out with a win here to beat the Commanders, to sweep the season series. I mean, Washington is not going to have much to play for because they're not going to make the playoffs, and Dallas, they're trying to reach that top seed in the NFC, and they have more to play for because they have a better chance to make the playoffs. So, yeah, Dallas. So, yeah, that's pretty much why. And plus, they just pretty much own Washington. So, yeah, that's pretty much why. So, right now, Dallas is 11-5 right now. So, if I give them so now looking at this Dolphins game, like I said, this is a game that we got to be careful with because this could also be a trap game. But I know that Miami did improve their defense enough, and I think they can definitely confuse Dallas and give the Dallas offense a tough time. But there are some times that their offense can give your defense a tough time. But as long as Tua is healthy, I think they can definitely find a way to beat Dallas with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. But I don't really think it matters though. Even though the game's in Miami, I don't really think it matters though. But I think this game will be super close. I think Miami can definitely pull this one off. But at the end of the day, I am going to pick. At the end of the day, I am going to pick the Cowboys to win this game because I just think Dallas is just the more complete team. They have the better defense, they have the better coaching staff, and have the better quarterback. And I just feel like Miami can't match. I just don't think Miami's going to be able to match up well with Dallas because Miami kind of really has a good secondary. Now, Miami's, their offensive line, their weakness in Miami is just their offensive line. And the defensive line can definitely be the issue, though. But I think Dallas' offensive line can find a way to, control Dolphins' pass rush, which that can put their defense in a bad position because I think the Dolphins' defense is a little bit overrated. So I think Dallas, they should be able to move the ball against them. Dak Prescott, I think he can do enough to throw the ball in the air against their secondary. And then especially, I think they're going to have answers for their blitzes as well. Because Miami sometimes can't blitz really good, but Dallas is good at blitzing. So I don't think Miami's going to have answers for the blitz. So I think Dallas defensive line is going to find a way to dictate the pace right there. And then I think their secondary can find a way to at least handle business against Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Now they need to find a way to at least shut down those guys, because if they don't do that, they're gonna get open for like over like 10 yards or more than that. Like they're gonna have to eradicate any type of passer at that wide receiver position. So they have to make sure they do that. So yeah. So I think this game right here is gonna be super close and competitive though. But I think Dallas, I think Dallas can find a way to come away with that. So yeah. So 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 overall I have the Cowboys going 12-5. I have them tying up the division with the Eagles. So 12-5 is the record. 4-2 in the division, 9-3 in the conference, 7-1 at home, 5-4 away. I mean, that's just pretty good. Now I can see them being as good as 13-4, maybe 14-3, maybe as a little bit lower as maybe 10-7, 9-8, something like that. But when you look at the schedule, it's pretty tough. So, because it's kind of a little bit of an easier schedule because they play the Giants twice. They played the best division A in the AFC, which is the AFC East, which is the Jets, the Dolphins, the Bills, the Patriots. They play the Niners. They play the Chargers. They play the Eagles twice, the Giants twice. I mean, that's that team we already discussed. Then they play the Bills, and they play the Dolphins and the Lions. So this is kind of almost like an easier schedule, but you can say it's kind of hard though in a difficult schedule. But if I can say if I give Dallas at least like one more win, I think that kind of has them winning the division, getting the top seed. But if I give them another loss, I think there's a chance that Philly wins the division. But if I give them one more win, Dallas can definitely win that division, and then and all that. So yeah, I think Dallas should be a good team this year. I like the additions with of Stephon Gilmore and Brandon Cooks. I think the receiving core should be better, and I think the defense should be better than it was last year. So yeah, and I think the coaching staff is pretty good. Dak, the quarterback, is pretty good. The offensive line should be better. It should be pretty good. Defense should be the same. So yeah, and they're gonna keep them in a lot of games. So Dallas should be a good team this year. I mean, I think they have a chance to at least compete for the NFC's crown. So yeah. So let me know in the comment section below what you guys think and how you feel about Dallas and all that. So yeah. Well, this is Emmanuel Jones. I'm a big fan. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys later in the next one. Peace.